25 years ago, we were introduced to a film where its tagline says, "When you can't breathe, you can't scream." And what film am I talking about? I'll tell you what it is. Anaconda. Here's my review of this cult classic. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Dual, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1997 adventure horror flick Anaconda, released by Columbia, directed by Luis Loza, starring Jennifer Lopez in one of her early films. This, of course, was among the three films I know she did. The others were Selena and U-Turn. Also in the cast are Ice Cube, Jon Voight, Eric Stoltz, Jonathan Hyde, and Owen Wilson. The film focuses on a documentary film crew in the Amazon rainforest that is captured by a snake hunter who is hunting down a great big snake, the giant legendary green anaconda. While the film, of course, was heavily dissed by critics, it still became a big hit and went on to become a cult classic. As I'm going to get into the story right now. On the Amazon River, a poacher hides from an unknown creature in his boat. While it breaks through the boat and attempts to catch the poacher, he commits suicide by shooting himself to prevent it from killing him. Meanwhile, a film crew is shooting a documentary about the Shirishimas, a long-lost indigenous Amazonian tribe. The crew includes director Terry Flores, cameraman and childhood friend Danny Rich, production manager Denise Kalberg, Denise's boyfriend and sound engineer Gary Dixon, narrator Warren Westridge, anthropologist Professor Stephen Kale, and boat skipper Mateo. The group encounters stranded Paraguayan snake hunter Paul Cerrone, who convinces them he can help them find the Shirishimas. Most of the crew are uncomfortable around Cerrone, and Kale clashes with him several times about Shirishima lore. Eventually, Kale is stung by a wasp and an allergic reaction swells up his throat and leaves him unconscious. Cerrone performs an emergency cryptorrhythmy, sorry if I mispronounced that, seemingly saving Kale's life, but soon after he takes over the boat, forcing the crew to help him achieve his true goal, hunting down a giant record-breaking anaconda, green anaconda that is, he had been tracking, which he believes that he can capture alive. Well, now before I get back into the story, Anaconda is a pretty big one. It is the heaviest and one of the longest known extant snake species. Well, like boas, it's a non-venomous constrictor. And I gotta tell you, that thing is huge. Tell you what. Anyway, back to the story. Danny, Mateo, and Cerrone search the wreckage of the poacher's boat. A photograph in an old newspaper reveals that Mateo, Cerrone, and the poacher were working together to hunt animals, including snakes. Leaving the poacher's ship, Mateo falls into the water, where the anaconda attacks and kills him. While Danny and Cerrone return to their boat, unaware of Mateo's fate, Cerrone promises that if the crew helps him find the snake, he will help them get out alive. That night, the anaconda attacks the boat crew. Cerrone attempts to capture the snake, but it coils around Gary, crushing him. Terry attempts to shoot the anaconda to save him, but Cerrone knocks her gun away, and the snake devours Gary. The crew overpowers Cerrone and ties him up as punishment. The next day, the boat becomes stuck at a waterfall, requiring Terry, Danny, and Westridge to enter the water to winch it loose. Denise confronts Cerrone and attempts to kill him to avenge Gary's death. but he strangles her with his legs before dumping her corpse into the river. The Anaconda returns, and Westridge distracted long enough for Terry and Danny to return to the boat while Westridge ascends the waterfall. Sarone breaks free during the attack and attacks Danny. The Anaconda climbs a tree and attacks Westridge, but the tree snaps. The crew winds up in the water. Kale wakes up in the process, and Westridge is killed in the fall from the waterfall. The snake attacks Danny, but Terry shoots it in the head. Sarone, still believing he can capture the snake alive, attacks her. Kale stabs him with a tranquilizer dart before losing consciousness again himself, and Danny knocks Sarone into the river. Now for the ending. You know the procedure like always. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, please continue on. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. Sarone manages to catch up to the group and captures Terry and Danny, using them as bait in an attempt to capture a second, much larger anaconda. The snake attacks the pair, slowly suffocating them. Sarone attempts to catch the anaconda in a net, but it breaks free and attacks him, eventually swallowing him whole, while Terry and Danny watch as they escape their bonds. The anaconda gives chase to Terry, who retreats into the building and finds a nest that's full of newborn anacondas. The snake regurgitates the still alive but partially digested Sarone and chases her up a smokestack. Danny pins its tail to the ground with a pickaxe and ignites a fire below the smoke shack, setting the snake on fire. The resulting explosion sends the burning anaconda flying out of the building and into the water. As Terry and Danny recuperate on a nearby dock, the anaconda resurfaces, but Danny kills it with an axe to the head. Afterward, Terry and Danny reunite with Kale, who begins to revive on the boat. While floating downriver, the trio suddenly locates the Shirashima tribe, who helps them escape the Amazon. End of story. So what did I think of Anaconda? Well, film is factually kind of a semi-guilty pleasure. I've seen it numerous times, and, well, it's factually not too bad. This is kind of a so bad it's good film in ways. Now, while despite receiving negative reviews upon its release, some critics did praise the film's effects, the scenery, and even the tongue-in-cheek humor, but many criticized the acting, forgettable or cardboard characters, inaccuracies, and boring start. Yeah, it kind of does start out a little slow, but it picks up. I don't mind the acting much. Most of the acting's okay and what have you. The characters are, well, factually a little reasonable. I do like the scenery, though, and the effects, and the humor. Anyway, it got nominated so many Golden Raspberry Awards, but unfortunately it did not win any. Despite all this, it went on to become a cult classic. Yeah. But anyway, and it lost at the Saturn Awards, but won Stinkers Awards, though, for Worst Supporting Actor and Worst Fake Accent for Jon Voight. Which that was fair enough. His accent wasn't that great, unfortunately. But anyway, our characters include Jennifer Lopez playing Terry, playing Danny is rapper Ice Cube, playing Sarone is Jon Voight, Eric Stoltz plays Dr. Kale. I think I've seen this guy. Yeah, he's been seen in some films. Well, he's been seen in films such as Pulp Fiction and lots of other films. There's so many to mention, though. Playing Denise Kalberg is Carrie Wurr. Playing Westridge is Jonathan Hyde, who I do know who that is. Of course, who recently played Cadbury in Richie Rich, which I am going to review that, and he recently played Van Pelt and Samuel Parrish in Jumanji. Anyway, and Owen Wilson played Dixon. Vincent Castellanos plays Mateo, playing the poacher's Danny Trejo, and there were vocal effects for the Anaconda, which were done by voice god Frank Welker. Yes, I didn't even know that. I mean, anyway, again, the film became a cult classic and was followed by a series of films, which I have seen the second one a few times, not as much as the other one. And I recently saw the third and fourth ones for the first time ever recently this month on Tubi. But I'll save those for another time. Now, and there wasn't another film, but it was a clash with Lake Placid, which that's one I have yet to see. So anyway, with a mixed set of characters, a pretty decent, but a decent cast, good scenery, good effects, and a few other things, but maybe not too great. But oh yeah, and Randy Edelman does a good job with the score. So overall, would I recommend Anaconda? Well, I think maybe just to be on the safe side, give it a one-time watch. Unless you're into these B movies or so bad it's good films, then I'd say go ahead. But I'm gonna just let you play it safe and give it a one-time watch. That's all I'm gonna tell you. So anyway, what are your thoughts on Anaconda? Please tell me in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me next time when I bring to you a review of the schizophrenic comedy known as Me, Myself, and Irene. Now, I have confirmed to do another film with J-Lo later on, but I'm not telling you what it is. It'll be coming up later on this week, but I'll only give you a hint, though. It's one of the worst movies of all time, but don't bother trying to guess what it is, though. I'm just going to let you wait until I get this video up, so don't bother giving me a guess in the comment section below, alright? Thank you. But anyway, thanks for watching my review of Anaconda, and if you like this, consider checking out my reviews for these other, adventure horror flicks, or, should I say, watery creature flicks. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Lake Placid, which would come out 2 years later, and would have a little bit of a crossover with Anaconda years later. In the upper right-hand corner is my review of another film that came out 2 years later, and that being the underrated shark film Deep Blue Sea. Or if you want more J-Lo, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of Selena, which came out the same year this did. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.